Hello, Morongo Basin and listeners around the world online at Z107.7fm.com. This is your Z107.7 local news for Sunday, April 20th, 2025. The California Fish and Game Commission met on April 16th to discuss the public feedback that the California Department of Fish and Wildlife, or CDFW, had received on the draft Western Joshua Tree Conservation Plan at two workshops held earlier this year. The act is the California law that was put into place in July of 2023, and it's the piece of legislation that limits what you can do around a Western Joshua tree unless it's authorized by the CDFW. The Western Joshua Tree Conservation Plan is required by the act, and it's exactly what it sounds like, a plan on how to best conserve the Western Joshua tree in the state of California. It's a distinction that CDFW Director Chuck Bonham wanted to make before the presentation on the public feedback.
One of the most frequent comments we heard in those two workshops was from private residential landowner, homeowner, about California Environmental Quality Act barriers to whatever project they may be doing on their own private property.
While the Conservation Act is statewide, most Joshua trees are here in the high desert, particularly in its namesake community of Joshua Tree, as well as the town of Yucca Valley. The Yucca Valley Town Council held their own presentation on the potential fees a property owner could face under the current guidelines for a take permit, with the range of the examples coming in the tens of thousands of dollars for a project such as hooking your home up to a sewer system, a particularly relevant example which was also referenced by Director Bonham.
High Desert Water District, who has a directive to complete some sewer and water line public health projects. And we think we have a concept to keep them on the pathway to get this water quality project done. We've been working through buffers and mitigation fees to deal with a second prong of this project, which is eventually they need to hook up like 2,000 residents. So trying to figure out a SQL platform, reduce impacts instead of digging up everyone's septic tank 2,000 times. There might be a way to bury in place, keep the tanks underground, avoid construction, which would impact trees.
Currently, the plan suggests a take permit for any ground disturbance within a 50-foot radius buffer from each Western Joshua tree on your property, as well as adjacent properties as well.
The part of our communities in the Mojave region that may struggle the most could be that homeowner. They're really struggling with the cost of environmental review. So the department hasn't decided entirely, but is willing to consider preparing a programmatic EIR for that set of activities, which really could reduce the cost burden for individual landowners.
The draft Western Joshua Tree Conservation Plan isn't legislation, and it's able to be amended before its official adoption in June. You can see this story on our website for links to the plan and past meetings, as well as ways you can submit public comment. That's all at Z107.7fm.com. Reporting out of Joshua Tree, California, alongside the award-winning Z107.7 news team, I'm Robert Hayden.